Hello, my name is Chloe Cha-Yi-Mei. I would like to present a concept called FieldDependenceIndependence, proposed by an American psychologist called Herman Wicking in 1962. To explain the nature of field-dependence independence, the earliest work which was conducted in a laboratory was how people locate the upright in space with a rod and frame test and embedded figure test. Both tests marked individual differences among people when determining the uprightness. When the performance is strongly dominated by the prevailing field, it is designated as field dependent. And the other extreme, where the person experiences items as more or less separate from the surrounding field, it is designated as field independent. People are quite stable in their preferred mode of perceiving. For example, women on the average tend to be more field-dependent than men. In general, field-dependent people are more likely to be attentive to and make use of social cues. They have a sensitive radar system which gives a liking to be with people, for they like to be physically close to others. On the other hand, field-independent people are described as cold, distant, and more solitary. Those field-dependent people tend to rely more on external reference for self-definition. For field-independent people, they are likely to have internalized frames of reference to which they use as guides to self-definition to separate from external social reference. Let's take a look at different reactions that people respond to corona outbreak. While all equally have sympathy as well as worries, the ways people adopt to cope with the challenging time are different. Because choices by field-dependent people are influenced by the environment, realizing movement control order limits their mobility. They initiate the community to join in singing from individual home for spreading love and sense of togetherness. While field-independent people react with self-calmness. Despite the chaotic outside world, they enjoy reading home. Now let's focus on the characteristics of both field-dependent and field-independent students. The social material matter. Field-dependent students particularly interested in social aspects of the surroundings, therefore better at learning materials with social contents than field-independent students because they do not involve social cue but focal attention. For example, field-dependent students are better in history but field-independent students focus on lab experiments. What is the effect of reinforcement? Field-independent students tend to have self-defined goals and with intrinsic motivation. They learn more than field-dependent students who need external goals. For example, if self-defined goals, field-independent students will learn better than field-dependent students. However, when external goals such as stickers introduced to them, the difference disappears. Both can do well. Do they use mediators in learning? Field-independent people are likely to analyze or impose structure on the field. Field-dependent people are more likely to go along with the field as is, without analyzing. For example, when I ask students to write a short story using some random vocabulary, this creates an environment for the field-independent learners to provide themselves an organization as an aid to finish writing, while field-dependent learners have difficulty. However, if I organize the sequence of the vocabulary, there is no difference in learning between both. Field-independent students have greater retention and are not influenced by feedback. Field-dependent students do significantly better on post-tests when feedback is provided. Field-independent students would use an hypothesis testing approach which let them perform better when allowed to develop own strategies. And the field-dependent students use the spectator approach which needs explicit instruction in problem-solving strategies. That means during the writing activity, field-independent students can finish with own strategies, while field-dependent students need my constant feedback and guidance. Are the cues salient? Field-dependent students are particularly responsive to the dominant arrangement and feedback but have difficulties when prior knowledge and new concepts are not related. For example, field-dependent students can do well if I show them which vocabulary belongs to which paragraph, but they find it challenging to relate the word washing machine to the title A Day in the Jungle, as they know that there is no electricity in the jungle. On the other hand, field independent would learn more rapidly when the salient cue is irrelevant to the new concept. They might be excited about the idea of having found a washing machine in the jungle and extend their imaginary otherworldly story. To help field-dependent students overcome their dependencies on salient cues, induce them to switch from spectator approach to hypothesis testing approach by providing directions, such as giving them hints of the possible appearance of such non-sequel event. We must understand how teacher-student interaction affects students' achievement. Field-dependent teachers favor teaching situations that allow interaction with students. Field-independent teachers prefer teaching situations that are impersonal in nature and oriented toward the more cognitive aspects of teaching. Field-dependent students are better and more effective in learning because of social interaction and enjoy more in discussion, while field-independent students enjoy lecture and discovery. Field-dependent teachers are more student-centered in their approach. They are less likely to express hostility because of their greater reliance on others. Field-independent teachers emphasize teacher standard and think corrective feedback and negative evaluation is effective teaching technique. Field-dependent teachers prefer teaching facts such as the sun is bigger than the moon, while field-independent teachers encourage to apply principles such as relating the sun to a basketball and the moon to a ping pong ball. How does the interaction between teachers and students affect achievement? Students who have similar cognitive style with teachers will get high grades, but students who mismatch teachers' cognitive styles get low grades. Students may learn better from the teachers who have same cognitive style because of the similarity mode of communication, shared personality, characteristics, and congeniality. For example, field-independent teachers like non-involving method, while field-dependent students like socializing such as group work. This is a mismatch of individuality. Field-independent teachers encourage the students to focus on multiple science experiments to get desired outcome. While field-dependent students prefer chatting around to see others progress, they find it hard to understand without group discussion. This is a mismatch of cognitive styles. However, this is easily solved by allowing diversity and various methods. How do students choose to maximize their learning? Based on their distinctive characteristics in educational interests, field-independent students should work on cognitive skills like analysis and structuring, where relations with people are not involved. Field-dependent students favor domain with people, which social content and interpersonal relations in daily ongoing activities involved. In academic setting, field-independent students choose science, maths, arts, experimental psychology, engineer, mechanics, and artistics. Field-dependent students are interested in humanities, languages, social work, clinical psychology, nursing, and also persuasive activities like selling. Field-independent students prefer unusual occupation, while field-dependent students might prefer the particular vocation most frequently chosen by peers because they have greater reliance on external social reference. In conclusion, for better achievement, it is advisable that students know about their styles and pick the right choice of subjects to maximize the benefit of appropriate matching. It is also beneficial if teachers have different styles of method for dissimilar students. However, it's noteworthy that not everyone is on the polar extreme. Most people are in the continuum in between. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you.